Greetings from Florida. Today we're working on a 2002 to 2010 Mercury Mountaineer or Ford Explorer. Basically the same car. Some of them have a little bit of differences on the door panels, but this is it for now. So you're going to take off the cover over the handle. That's what secures the switch housing. So don't take the switch housing off first. Take off that cover first. Take off the switch housing. You've got 3 plugs. 2 of them are pretty easy. Just pops off. Bing. Bang. The third one, I think it's the side view mirror switch. Or the lock switch? I'm not even sure. Lock switch. That requires something round that goes in the hole. And by the way, on the 2002, they didn't think to put that hole in the switch housing. So you'll have to just work around it. But that's how that comes off. You've got 2 small bolts on the bottom and 1 in the top behind those wiring harnesses. By the way, if you need these, please visit my site, www.upanddownmainstreet.com. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask them on YouTube. Please don't call. If you buy the part from me, you're welcome to call me. I'll be glad to help you out. If you want my ability to talk through it with you, it's $30 on a credit card. So don't call me unless you want to pay for it. But I'll answer any questions on YouTube, so feel free. Might take a day or two, but I'll definitely get back to you. So we get those off. The door panel lifts up. It does not pull out. There's some injection molded clips on the back of it. You just lift it straight up. And there's a side view mirror switch as well that's going to come off. And there's a wiring harness on that comes off pretty easy. As you can see, I wasn't quite sure which size it was. I went back and forth a couple times. Nope, not that. Third time's the charm. Got it. Lift it up. I didn't give you a visual on this, but it's pretty easy. You're just going to unclip the wiring harness that goes to the side view mirror switch. Really just unplugs. And then move the door panel out of your way. I'm going to peel that back as much as I can, and hopefully this won't block your view. We'll see. So the first thing you got to do is get the window up enough to get access to the 2 rivets that go through the glass. Now these rivets go through the glass, I believe. Let's see. Oh, they had a piece of wood blocking it up. Actually, I'm bringing it down, not up. But no, my mistake. They don't go through the glass on these. They're regular window regulator rivets. If you don't have rivets and you don't want to use rivets, you can use small 1/4-inch nuts and bolts. That'll work just as well. And I'm bringing it down enough to get access to it through the other opening right there. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a awl punch and punch out the center point of the rivet, the mandrel of the rivet. That you can just bang out. And then once you do that, 1/4 inch drill bit to get the rivet out. Then you get 7/16 bolts that hold everything in place. So you'll need a 7/16 driver. $11mm metric might do it as well. Now one of the bolts, hang on, I didn't do it. There's 2 at the top, and you'll probably have to take you might have to take the glass out to get this regulator out, by the way. I did. I've done it both ways. Now, there's one bolt right. I'm taking out the. I think I'm taking out the channel bolt. There's a channel bolt on the right-hand side, and that bolt right there. It's going to leave the screw on the other side of it. You can either take a pair of vice grips to clamp down to that to get that nut off, or a better idea would be just leave it there, and then when you put the new regulator in, you can just screw it into the new regulator. Now if you get an aftermarket regulator, it'll fit just fine. If you get a Ford regulator, it'll probably already have that bolt on, so then you got to either take that one off, or you'll see when you do it. And you'll probably have to unplug a couple wiring harnesses to get access to get that out. Not quite enough room to work. And you want to reach in, get all the little metal pieces that are left over from when you drilled out the rivets. And then I was debating on whether to try to take that off, but then I realized, why bother? I can just screw it onto the new one. And I think this is where I realized it was going to be easier to take the glass out. I think I did take the glass out. I must have taken the glass out. I got the regulator out. Regulator comes with the motor, you get the whole thing. One other thing you want to do too with all your windows is put the glass down, put the window down and lightly spray the two up and down channels, the vertical channels that the glass travels in. Not the one your arm would rest on if the window is open, not the horizontal seal strip, but the two run channels that go up and down. With any kind of spray silicone, WD-40, Power Lube, PAM cooking spray, lightly. You don't have to soak it, just give it a light spray every 2 or 3 months. They dry out from the heat and cause the glass to grab, so a little dab will do you. This, you don't take off the door panel to do this. This is going to be the two that are above where the part that your arm would rest on if the window is open, the seal strip is. Taking a look, making sure I get it in right. I don't think I did though. I looked at it, but then you know what? It actually goes the other way. So I figured that out once it was inside, and then I just turned it around inside. You're welcome to fast forward through some of this and skip through some of this if you'd like. I didn't trim it. I let you see all the naked truth. Looks like here's where I took off the glass. So to do that, I took off the seal strip, the rubber strip that's in front of the glass, and then tilted the glass out. And I think this is where I realized I was going to have to take off that 7/16. Maybe I already took it off, the 7/16 bolt that's on the right-hand side that holds the channel in. Yep, there it is. I may be blocking your view slightly there, I'm sorry. And then that's the one I told you about. So I went ahead and just anchored it back into the regulator where it goes, and that worked out just fine. It was just easier than taking the whole thing out. Grabbing the switch and then put the key on just so I can put the regulator either up or down a little bit just to make it easier to put in the glass. Putting in the glass, I put back the seal strip. Bringing it down, and I ended up doing this twice because the first time I put the rivets in, I did not have the glass aligned properly. So, word to the wise, I guess. If you have the big rivet tool like that, you can put in the 1/4-inch regulator rivets. If you don't, 1/4-inch nuts and bolts. Here I'm trying to realign the glass, which I did. It just wasn't lined up properly the first time. And I think here I'm putting back that 7/16 bolt that holds the channel in place. One other helpful note, it's good to have the engine running when you try it out. It's a big drain on the battery if you do it without the engine running. You also want to find a place to get those wiring harnesses out of the way. Don't forget to reconnect the wiring harness that you unplugged. And you want to find a place to at least get them out of the way. If they get caught up within the framework of the regulator, they might pull out. Again, I should have these on my website, upandownmainstreet.com. The rear ones are very similar, but if I'm not mistaken, I think there's just one rail to the rear ones. I could be wrong. Door panel goes in where those holes are and then slides on. Pushes down, I should say. And you should be good with the rest of this. And I thank you very much for watching. You have a great day.